Hello guys, welcome once again to the I'm Amazing channel. Super excited to have you back on board. Again, we're going to be talking the Plug series, and this time around we'll talk the L. So life hacks. So we have productivity life hacks, unlearning and relearning, and goal achievement formula cards. And within the life hacks section, we'll be talking Eustress, which is the positive stress, which is the great type of stress for you. Now let's get on to it. What exactly is stress? It's a simple, basic phenomenon that everyone goes through, in which our bodies are able to react to stimuli. So basically, our brains working through our bodies provides the right mechanism or system that releases stress hormones in response to engaging on either your fight responses or your flight responses or your freeze responses, either of this, depending on what the situation is. Normally, when we think about the word stress, it connotes a couple of negative impressions, from burnouts to depression, just name it. And so when we tell people they're stressed, we're trying to say things like they're experiencing negative pressure, it could be mental, physical, and all of that. But the interesting thing to note is the fact that not all stress is bad stress. Not all stress should be avoided. Quite the opposite to popular opinion, we need to encourage what we call eustress, because that's the positive stress. That's the form of stress which is indeed critical to improving our emotional, psychological, as well as our physical performance levels. Now let's talk the forms of stress. First would be eustress, which is a short-lived positive stress. So for instance, when you talk about having those butterflies in your tummy, it's a first date kind of thing, or you're going on skiing for the first time ever, or it's a competition in which you really were shocked that you even got to the end or got to the finals. You get that kind of pump, that kind of feeling. That's positive stress. That's eustress. Then we have acute stress, which would be those short-lived one-time stressors. So for instance, you're in trouble when you're getting late into a meeting. This is the really highly anticipated meeting. You're like already 25 minutes late. So that gives you a lot of stress at that point in time. But the way our bodies are designed, the way our entire system works is with time, we're able to get out of that. Okay. And so once that happens, it's acute stress, and that's fine. However, when that acute stress, for instance, you getting stuck in traffic, happens not just once or once in a blue moon, maybe once in a week or once in a month or something, when that happens every single day, every single time, then you've transitioned from acute to chronic stress. And that's where it gets really, really bad. Because at this point, the adrenal glands produce more cortisol than can be managed, which over time will shrink the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for memory and learning. Now, the prefrontal cortex is very critical in managing our stress levels, because what it does is slows down the production of cortisols in what we call the HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal. Now, that's a very interesting medical term. The amygdala is a brain structure which is located at the mid part of the brain. What it helps to do is that it detects emotional and biological stresses and then gives the right instruction to the HPA to respond. And so once the stress levels exceed our ability to control, then they get into what we call distress. But one thing is quite important here. One person's distress could be another person's eustress. It all has to do with the way we're able to manage bad stress. So how do we do that? Stay tuned as we talk this in the second part. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet, and click on the notification, the bell button, so you keep getting notifications as we keep releasing videos. Stay amazing and say to yourself, I'm amazing.